do I even do a proper intro? Elita doesn't have to do proper intros for his shitty streams. So that was the intro. Welcome everybody to today's video. Today's video here on the secondary ENT channel is what do I want from making videos? Actually, I have no idea what the fuck I'm going to title this goddamn shit. But anyway, we're back with the PowerPoint. Isn't that funny and nostalgic? Doesn't everybody love that? Oh my goodness, everybody loves that. Now, you know, chat, I make YouTube videos. You may not be aware of this, but I do, on a main channel called, not this one, but Kyle Entertainment. Now that's crazy. What a title. Oh my goodness. But anyway, I've been going about my stuff. I've been writing a Berserk video, and I've come to a crisis in this Berserk video. Now, this crisis is born of a few things, maybe 4 conflicting things that are on your screen right now that you could read ahead, but don't do that. Wait for the explanations. So, once upon a time, it's probably the year 2020. Oh my goodness, COVID's happening, crazy. But I'm inside writing a Berserk script on the Black Swordsman arc. It's like got 10,000 words or something. I'm just typing away and I'm going to make a Berserk video and be famous. This is probably after the Griffith video started blowing up and I'm like, this is the way to the truth and the light. This is how we make it through this. Now, 4 years later, we still haven't made another Berserk video besides that goddamn Griffith one, I'm pretty sure. Did I make one in between? I think that weird Eclipse one was before that. The Casca one was way before that. That's about all we got. So, recently, I'm like, oh my god, I just finished this Devilman's thing, and this Chainsaw Man Appeal video is pissing me off again, so I don't want to work on that right now. So, let's see what else, what other options we got. We got these Last of Us videos that I really want to make. We've got these Pokemon anime videos that I really want to make, but are way off because I can't get my shit together and get organized. And then what's this in the corner? We got a lot of Berserk videos we want to make. I did a bit of a Berserk reread. I can't remember if it was in between my trips to New Zealand or if it was before the first one, but I reread up until did I get to Zod introduction? It's not very far in. That wasn't a flex, but we got decently far in and it was fun. You know, Berserk's the best, so you know, you just read away and you're like, man, I could read this forever. So I was reading and I'm like, fuck it. With the reread still relatively recent, I could keep that going and keep the Berserk momentum going. And obviously Berserk is the most popular video on my channel, so that means we might even get some success out of it. So I go back to this goddamn document and I read through it and I decide to split this big video into like 4 different videos and we're going through the process, etc., etc. But now I'm into the process of actually editing like the first video of that. Now I guess I'm going to show the document so I can spoil the name. It's called Berserk, the Black Swordsman, and the Masks People Wear. Oh, what a title. So philosophical. But a lot of the actual writing from those 10,000 words will be in this video because a lot of it was going through examples of basically the conceit of the video is Guts is tough guy, but every once in a while you see that the mask slips a little bit and he's a little soft boy, and isn't that cute? And talking about character depth and stuff like that. So there's a lot of writing out of these examples when Guts seemingly does do something altruistic or something in the Black Swordsman arc. He wants to help Vargas, then he's haunted because he doesn't help Vargas. His relationship with Puck, his interaction with Cloette, and I forget Cloette's grandfather's name? Father's name? I don't remember how old that priest was. Yeah, he was pretty old. That can't be his daughter. Anyway, something like that. You remember chapter 2. And initially when I read through it, I thought the contents of the writing was all right. But then I posted back in and now I'm going through and editing it and I'm basically changing everything. And this is where I came to a crisis because I'm just winging it and I'm going away. I'm writing an intro to this thing. And obviously in 4 years, the writing style of my videos has changed rather dramatically. Go back and watch any video before like, when did the good video start happening? This is when we crash reality. We exit the PowerPoint and we are rushed back to the YouTube reality of things. This video is good. This video is good. This video is good. This video is okay. This video is good. This video is bad. This video is good. This video is good. These videos are probably okay. These videos are probably okay. This video is good. This video is kind of good. This video is good. This video is great. This video is excellent. This video is okay. This video is excellent. But then I feel like Core Themes is pretty cool, bro. Basically from here down, all these videos are bad. They're mostly bad, not because of the contents, though a lot of them are bad because of the context. Actually, Stuart Village is down here. That video is pretty good. These are a lot of Patreon re-uploads. But anyway, a lot of the narration in these videos are bad, and it's not really good. Oh my god, these are the 2 oldest videos of mine that exist. They're fucking the worst. Aaron is the antagonist, is probably okay. But there's very much a drastic shift. If we go back to... The Griffith video is terrible, so we're way too far back now. But in a lot of these old videos, just the narration is cringe, the tone is cringe, the attitude behind them is cringe. It's just cringe, 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 all the way down. Some of the points are okay. There is good and bad in Attack on Titan is okay, I guess. The Rumbling is probably not a very good video from an idea standpoint. The Griffith video from an idea standpoint is actually pretty good. I do like some of the analysis in there, especially the meta-analysis with the Miura equals idea of evil, crazy bro. The Anid video is okay from a merit standpoint. Its title is terrible. This video's got some good ideas. The Levi video, the title's actually kind of good. Same with these. These conceptually are pretty good. This video's got some bad stuff in it. What do I always say about this video? Skip like the first 7 minutes and it's okay. The Madman video is good in parts. It's also just kind of wrong. My reading on Peggy in the first episode, especially right after I'd watched it, was not the best. Mikasa Lamau, Validation. The Vinland Saga video is probably bad, but we just go on. Jägermask Plane, greatest video I ever made. A lot of the Black Lagoon videos are bad. The Casca video is okay and kind of cringe, etc. Meta and morals of watching Attack on Titan, that's crazy. But anyway, some of them are bad because of ideas, but they're all bad because of, like, the narration style, and I would private them if I wasn't making money off some of them. And probably will private some of them in the future. But recently there are like narration performances that I am proud of. Like, I think my best one is probably in the Naruto video. I feel like the House of the Dragon one isn't that good. The Black Lagoon one's pretty good, etc. I don't know, there's a varying thingies. But I think generally the narration and the comedy style of the videos has gotten to a point where it's actually like good. And it's to the point where the crisis comes in, like, these Devilman videos, especially the first one, and this Naruto video especially. There's a lot of inbuilt comedy into these videos. Like, the conclusion of this is sort of framed as kind of in a joke. And there's a bunch of jokes throughout this one. And I feel like it's okay because it's not, like, I don't know. There's obviously a juggling act you have to do between serious and jokes and how much you want your ideas to be taken seriously, kind of. Like in a video like House of the Dragon came out swimming, like who cares about that video? Like the pilot was good is basically the point of that video. I feel like in the Black Sails video there's not too many jokes and it is all about like pilot good. I make a lot of videos about pilots, huh? We just saw that Madman one. And I feel like a lot of these videos, there's really not a lot of comedy in any of these videos. But it's become the case that I can do it now. So then when I'm doing this Berserk video... Oh my god, I'm spoiling all of them here. Nope. Oh my god, this is the one. You could pause and read this, but it's all terrible and will be edited. I have written in... Like, basically in this video, there's a point where I introduce Puck. I guess I don't really want to show it, but I remember the idea now, or the example, so I don't have to. Well, we introduce Puck, and I'm sort of faced with a crisis. Do I, when I introduce Puck, basically do a meme where I'm basically saying Puck is the best character in Berserk, and fuck your favorite character, Puck's way better? Because generally the consensus is, Puck was really good in the Black Swordsman arc, but then he fell off. And I don't like that talking point. So it's never like a contradiction of something I believe. Like I usually don't do jokes where it's like the point isn't, like the point still resonates from the joke. But there is like I can go pretty far with the Puck thing. And throw in a bunch of references and stuff. And it can be funny. But I'm sort of conflicted in, do I want this video to be a straightforward sort of smart video, you know, I'm looking at the screen now, or do I want it to be kind of more like a funny video? The answer is obviously there's a median in between, but I've sort of got to figure that out. Let me transfer. All right, chat's not saying anything, that's good. I guess you can go through the sort of 4 pillars now and where we sort of stand. I think it also very much matters. The personality point also bleeds through too, because it's sort of at a crisis point now where I feel like my personality, even in those old videos that are cringe, was very much sort of like riling people up and sort of being funny in that way, though I don't think it was very effective at being funny. Some other people might. Obviously, when you're watching your own shit back, you think it's a lot more cringe than other people who watch it back because they just don't have that inherent self-hatred because it's not them. What did I just say? I completely lost my train of thought there. Jokes and stuff. So I guess it's always been part of my identity to do that funny stuff. And then I guess I kind of got away with it when got away from it when I was being very charitable from like 2020 to 2023 or something, before we got edgy again. So I guess it's not like, oh, this is coming out of nowhere with these Devilman videos. It's just sort of like, or the Naruto video too. This is just sort of like what you might think those old videos were like if you haven't watched them for a while, but actually like the good version. Don't people always say that about shitty Sonic games, where it's like, oh, the new Sonic game, I can't remember, there was a good new Sonic game and everybody was like, oh, it plays like you thought the old Sonic games play like, because old Sonic is bad or whatever. That's the principle being applied here. So let's look at examples of how to make videos and how a person comes off. Because part of this is like, how do I want to come off in videos? How do I want to come, chat? Anyway, so if we want to be smart, if we want to make great points and be known for making great points and just have the biggest brain. So I got my Craft Dwarf and Matthew Matosis examples here. There is a cult of personality that comes with this. Matthew Matosis fans are insane, and they definitely think he's the smartest person to ever live, and they definitely like parroting his points, and they think that makes them smart. He makes some great, very fundamental points in a lot of his videos. Krastorf is similar, where his scripts, sometimes there'll be like a joke in there, but it's very dry, it's straight analysis, it's straight to the point. I think in this smart category is also succinctness, you know that word, chat. Which obviously, if you're going out of your way to do like a paragraph of jokes about how Puck is the best and fuck your mother, it's not very succinct. And it's also like, and you risk sort of going down a tangent and sort of ruining the flow of things if you're trying to do point after point. Krastorf, Matthew Matosis, don't worry about this. They just do content in their analysis videos. And there is an admiration you have of like, oh my God, Matthew Matosis is so smart. Look at his catalog of videos. They're all so perfect and created, and he has no bad ones, and this is sick. I guess you feel similarly about Krastorf. But this is like a type of video that I think I could make. They're usually uncontroversial, like their points might be controversial, but they're uncontroversial in the way they deliver it mostly. And I like these videos, so it's like, maybe I should do that and just be very straightforward. Now, the title of this Berserk video, Berserk Black Swordsman and the Masks People Wear, is a straight Krastorf rip title. That's how he structures his titles. It's more of like a traditional like essay title, where it's not really, obviously on YouTube sometimes you want to like state the thesis very dramatically to sort of get clicks, to get claps. But it could be like, I don't even know what a catchy thumbnail for this or a title for that video could be. Something about Guts is secretly a nice boy or something. But like another Berserk video I have the idea for is like the working title might be at this point Berserk, the Black Swordsman arc and structure, which is a Krastorf way of saying it. Or another, or sort of the more YouTube video essay clickbait way of saying it would be like, in defense of the Black Swordsman arc in Berserk structure, or the importance of the Black Swordsman arc in Berserk's overall structure, or something like that. So part of me thinks that, oh, I'm ripping the title structure. Maybe I should just go with the whole Krastorfian appeal here. But there is a limitation to these two. these two are not as popular as they should be by all rights, and that's probably because of their lack of controversial titles and thumbnails, etc. Krastorf has what, like 50k subs, I think. Matthew Matosis is, I think, maybe just at 200k or under. And they're a lot better than everybody more popular than them. And obviously, popularity doesn't mean good or anything. A lot of people that are very popular in the video essay space are usually pretty bad, like your Hijinks or whatever. But yeah, and I think it might be part of this appeal of them being so dense in their videos, like Krastorf videos. You gotta pause them sometimes, be like, "What the fuck did this moron just say?" And then think it through, and then you're like, "Oh, you just said the craziest shit I've ever heard." And Matthew Matosis videos can be like that too. I guess Pause and Select maybe would go into this category too, and the Cynic Clinic maybe, but both of them have a bit of personality and a bit of smugness in their videos, which is kind of cute. Probably Cynic Clinic definitely more than Pause and Select. But yeah, it is a type of video to do, this whole smart stuff. So you sort of sacrifice success maybe for intellectual superiority, bro, and for the perception of intellectual superiority. And obviously that would be nice to have, I think. But then we've got funny down here. To have a funny cult of personality persona. That might be a redundant phrasing, but I didn't really edit this fucking PowerPoint. Remember I used to do the old ones? They would just have errors riddled throughout. And here I basically got the PCP extravaganza with Endless Jess, Best Guy Ever, Trixie, the former Digibro. And I even threw Nakey Jakey in here. Where a lot of these people have cults, like massive personality in their videos, and more so than their thesis or their fucking the point of their videos. You sort of come to their videos just because the personality is more so the draw. And I think luckily with at least the first three, a lot of the time they do have something very interesting to say. Trixie always has a crazy perspective that she always likes to write as the perspective, which is always good. Best Guy Ever, it's interesting because Best Guy Ever used to have Weagawa as a series, which was a mostly unscripted series, where he would basically make video essay points and they would be structured, but it would be sort of like him talking to the camera, and he'd have sort of, he would loosely edit images into the side. It sort of came off as scripted a lot of the time, but that's just because it was heavily edited. And that's where sort of the personality of his persona is sort of born. He did do it originally in scripted videos with the Gurren Lagann videos, etc. And then there was a point where he started to just do scripted videos and he retired Weagawa. And there was a lot missing in his videos where it did feel like drier and like his comedy wasn't landing as much. And I think now he's finally gotten back to a point where he's sort of incorporating his general personality into the way he scripts his videos. And Endless Jess is the best writer, I think, in the video essay space probably ever. Just any one of his videos, especially the funny ones, especially the funny sort of like, I know this is ridiculous, self-aware ones. Like, I remember the Kingdom Hearts video he did where he's like, Kingdom Hearts is the dumbest concept of all time. But then like the video is sort of him talking himself out of it, but then quadrupling down in the face of it. There's always that, I can't remember which Resident Evil review he did recently where I was like, where I always go back to it as like, oh, the writing in this is very good. And I feel like a lot of these three, like Krastorf videos are usually very positive. And Krastorf sort of kickstarted my charitability era because I was watching a lot of Krastorf stuff and he would, a lot of more hated videos, and even in his unscripted content and his podcasts, etc., he would always like sort of defend commonly shit on sort of series and be like, oh, obviously the old internet complaints about these series are the dumbest things ever and hold no weight. And you sort of disprove that. These three are definitely old internet heads, and a lot of that bleeds through, and there is a charm to that. Now I'm just reviewing these three creators. But it definitely comes through that you come to these videos for the cult of personality, and once you're bought into that, you will just buy the ideas. And I feel like convincing is the next stop point, not to jump ahead. But I feel like a lot of the time, funny is much more convincing than smart, just because funny resonates better than smart. So I think if you were to go through these people's fan base, like the diehard Best Guy Ever and Digibro fans back in the day probably have a lot more air of superiority and a lot more are a lot more liable to defend their creators and their points. And like the buy-in from their audiences is very good. So if we're considering convincing, you would think, well, laying it all out and being smart is probably the best. But laying it all out for like, that only sort of works on smart people. The funny works on the dumb people. And we want them all, baby. So we have to figure it out. Naked Jakey is also like this. I don't really like the points in any Naked Jakey video. I think he's kind of stupid. He definitely has an appeal. He makes great songs. And his personality, though not being as big or as interesting as these three, at least to me, is sort of more normie core. So it's sort of that type of cult of personality. But I feel like the Naked Jakey fans are also similarly like, oh my God, he's so right about everything. This is crazy. Though when you get into the more hardcore fans of anybody, they're probably always going to be like that. But I put him in this category and I think he fits. But yeah, so there's sort of like a, should we lean into the Devilman comedy aspects? Because the Devilman videos both make points. I feel like the first one doesn't really make its point the best. The second one I think does. And there is comedy in there. Though there's not that much comedy in that video. And I did end up cutting a lot of it because I didn't like my narration of some of it. But leaning into that, and honestly, this is probably what I'm going to end up doing, because these are more sort of the developmental creators I did watch, like when I was first getting into this space, and I probably end up replicating them even subconsciously. You just hope to have good points too. But the puck, fucking on your mother paragraph, that's sort of in line with these guys. And obviously I was doing Nate cosplays for like the first like 5 months of the original channel and shit like that. I don't think I'm talented enough to do an Endless Jazz cosplay. And obviously the old Digibro talking points are too ingrained in me to ever be removed, I think. So it's interesting. Then we have convincing. To be influential in a space and have people agree with you and parrot your points. Terribly immoral, but it's what we all want. And I guess I've already gone over this point where it's like, which one is more convincing? And sort of the conflict in me concerning that. So I always want to check that, because I do want to be convincing with these Berserk videos. Because fundamentally with these Berserk videos, I think a majority of the Berserk content on YouTube sucks. And it's like boring, surface level, nothing, doesn't understand why Berserk is actually really good type stuff. So convincing people out of that is kind of part of the point in making these videos. And also it's just, like, you always have thoughts, and then you see like another, like a generic YouTube video about something, and you're like, oh my God, a lot of these assumptions and a lot of these talking points are so annoying and I hate them. It's like, man, I just want to outline why they're wrong and convince people otherwise. And I do have moments sometimes where I'm like watching an Attack on Titan video, and then I like go back and for whatever reason have to rewatch one of my videos, and I'm like, oh my God, I already did try to do the convincing part. I didn't make it over here, so was I a failure? And just like actually trying to be convincing and change that sort of community zeitgeist stuff is probably impossible, and chasing that will probably lead you to killing yourself. But it has to have some effect, so you still gotta think about this one, I think. And then obviously the last one is to be successful, to be popular and notable, and make some motherfucking money, chat. Best titles and thumbnails and topics for success. So I feel like this one's pretty self-explanatory, right? Do I want to prioritize? It's like the title thing I was already talking about. What do I prioritize there? Do I do what I like and what feels right and what looks pretty at the top of the Word document? Or do I be more explosive with the titles and thumbnails? And also choosing topics to talk about. Like, I have no idea how Last of Us Part 2 videos would do on my channel. I have a feeling Berserk videos would probably do okay. So yeah, there's sort of like selecting what to focus on. Like, obviously I knew the Devilman videos would do terrible, but I really wanted to make them. So that's sort of a sacrifice of, I don't even know what that was born out of, because it's not really born out of being convincing, I don't think, because there's not like a lot of Devilman discourse to be convincing about. This was in it and this was in it, but I feel like these are sort of, rather than being motivations, these are sort of two different types of philosophies in making videos that collide, and somehow we come to a middle ground. Probably like 60 to this one, 40 to this one. And these are sort of like general motivations for making videos. But also being perceived as smart and being perceived as funny are obviously good byproducts of these things and something you would want from making videos. That was all building up to a point, but I've forgotten the point. It's just sort of there's a conflict because, just like I said with the Devilman videos, there has to be a fifth point, and it's like impulsively what I want to do. But I think the underlining motivators for those impulses are in here somewhere in these 4 categories. So why did I make those Devilman videos? I don't know, because they don't really fit into any of these categories. So there has to be more in there that I just can't understand about myself right now. But these are sort of the conflicts. And my point is sort of, the point of this video is sort of to survey the audience and see, would they prefer the smart videos or the funny videos? What videos do they like? Is the general direction of the Devilman videos good? Et cetera, et cetera. I feel like the feedback I mainly get is from the people in the Discord, and then we've got creators, right? So Shabes will talk about my videos sometimes. Shabes has a bit of a warped perception of me, I think. I don't even know how to explain it. He hasn't seen more of my edgier videos, I don't think, and I don't think that exists in his mind. Because I feel like what videos of mine has he covered? He covered when I copied his fucking idea. He covered my anime ED video. He covered... did he cover one of the attack... Yeah, he covered the miscellaneous insert shot one. And then he covered the Devilman one. 2 of those videos were part 2s. That he didn't watch the first one of, which is funny. And all those videos, like the point is like, oh, this is like a cute little thing. Like that's sort of his perception. So I don't think like too much insight can be brought out via him. Then we got Bacon and RE basically, who have both reacted to my videos at various points. Bacon, I think, really likes the funny stuff. I think he finds it disagreeable, but I also think that's why Bacon ever liked me to begin with. Like, I'm pretty sure he literally found me on the shitting on the Villain Saga anime video, which he vehemently kind of disagrees with. So there's that. And Ari, I don't know what Ari likes. Ari's just a little weirdo. I think I'd more so go off the Bacon stuff, and Bacon really did like the Naruto video. Like, he watched the Naruto video, and he thought, like, all the funny stuff was really good. Ari watched the Devilman video, and for half of it, I was like, oh, no, he doesn't like it. And then at the end, he was like, this is just a great video, and I loved it so much. And I was like, whatever, Ari, you idiot. So those are the sort of main people I can take feedback from. Minty doesn't watch any fucking videos, or if he does, he doesn't say anything about them. Miller just wants videos about shit he likes. Who else is in there? Mr. R really doesn't say much about the videos. Ciclet doesn't like any of them. So sort of that. It's just, I think... I don't know, it's just a thought process, and especially, there was sort of a crisis I had, and I think I had it yesterday, and I think I've sort of come to a conclusion. If I had done this stream yesterday, it probably would have been more impassioned and confused. I think I just am going to do the funny stuff. That was just, I think, a crisis in that document of, like, 2020 me writing, conflicting with 2024 me writing, and sort of the difference being very evident, and being like, have we strayed from the path, or is this the path forward? And I think the answer is this is the path forward. I also think the Mushoku Tensei stuff with Ari sort of leans into this, because I think even in stream, especially sort of riffing off Ari now, sort of the edgier personality has come back out. But I like it a lot. I like the reaction to my stuff in the Mushoku Tensei stuff. I like that, like, half of them really hate me, and half of them are like, oh, this is kind of funny. Getting that reaction from scripted videos is fun. Like, that's what I used to get from the Attack on Titan stuff, obviously. But that shit was fucking stupid. We were so obsessed with Jaegers and anti-Jaegers, and that's, like, not at all relevant, and it's all corny, but that's all in the past, I suppose. Though I do want to return to that eventually. I do want to make a rumbling sort of moral analysis video at some point, which would be funny. End of slideshow. I think that might be the end of the point. I guess I'm surveying. That was the point of this video. I sort of got lost in my little discussion about shit. Because, yeah, I do like these videos. I guess the Black Sail stuff probably has some comedy in there somewhere. And even there, I think the personality does come out, especially when I'm talking about the Eleanor part. I'm like, oh, this line should be death, but the way she says it makes it good. I think that type of attitude going into the Berserk videos would be good. But we will see, I suppose. Hopefully this Berserk video comes out relatively soon. I really don't want it to be more than a month between these two. There is a lot still to do on this video, though, because I thought I was just going to copy basically the 2020 shit in, and basically that stuff would be done, and I only really had to write an intro and a conclusion. But then going back through it, there's like after every example in like the 2020 stuff, I feel the need to go. And that's why this is the thingy. And that's why it plays into the overall structure of Berserker. And that's why Berserker's good. And it's just like, shut the fuck up. He's just restating like the three confusing theses after every fucking point. It's annoying. And obviously, there is obviously now, you can sort of, the way you edit stuff can play into the point. Like, as long as you say things fast, you don't have to remind people of the overall point, because you'll get there and they won't have forgotten. And you just kind of got to be snappy. That's definitely something that has more become the case with the more recent videos too, where it's not just relying on the script and then the editing is afterwards. I sort of do have some editing things in mind when I'm saying things. Don't zoom in, because I fucking always forget how to zoom out on this goddamn fucking piece of shit. Well, there's the goddamn, what do you call it? Desktop. But anyway, I think I made my goddamn fucking point. So, to the secondary ENT audience, I think this is your time to get the fuck out of here, bro. Stay tuned for everything, and stay tuned to the main channel for fucking Berserk content, apparently. Do I say support links in the description below on this thing? I think I do. Thanks!